It seems like we say it every offseason, but this offseason was truly the craziest the transfer portal has ever been. It seemed like every day there were new players coming and going. Your favorite team likely lost a couple of really good pieces, but your favorite team also likely gained some really talented pieces as well. Every week leading up to the college football season, I'm going to be releasing weekly videos talking about 10 players who transferred to new programs that are going to make huge impacts at their new schools. Before we get to today's video, make sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on those notifications if you're new to my channel. If you're watching this video, odds are that you love college football, and odds are you aren't subscribed to my channel. So make sure to subscribe to one of the best college football communities here on YouTube. I'm posting college football videos every day leading up to the start of the season, so make sure to subscribe so you never miss a video. Also, make sure to drop a like on this video as well. It helps out with that YouTube algorithm and helps share the video with more college football fans. Plus, it only takes a second to do. Did your school land a really solid player in the portal this offseason that should be included in these lists? Drop a comment down below and I'll make sure to include them in my next video. We'll start with one of the top quarterback transfers of the offseason in Sam Hartman. He transferred from Wake Forest to Notre Dame. I talked about him during the offseason, but Hartman is the best quarterback that Notre Dame has had in quite some time. During his time with Wake Forest, he threw for nearly 13,000 yards with 110 passing touchdowns, an ACC record. His best season came back in 2021 when he threw for over 4,200 yards with 39 passing touchdowns. This past season, he threw for 3,700 yards with 38 passing touchdowns. Notre Dame is a pretty great team every year while having just an okay quarterback. Now, you give them arguably one of the 10 best in the country, it could be a huge year for the Irish. LSU picked up a pretty big name in cornerback Denver Harris, who transferred from Texas A&M. Harris was the number 25 overall recruit in the 2022 class and the number 5 cornerback. He originally picked the Aggies over LSU, Texas, and Alabama out of high school. He played in 5 games as a true freshman and had 14 total tackles with 3 pass breakups. Then in October, Harris was one of 3 true freshmen suspended for violating team rules. We didn't see much of him last season, but the talent is certainly there. USC was busy in the portal once again, as one of their bigger names they added was former Georgia defensive lineman Bear Alexander. Alexander was another highly touted recruit coming out of high school, as he was the number 5 defensive tackle. He originally committed to Georgia out of high school, decommitted, considered Texas A&M, then recommitted to Georgia. He played 160 snaps as a true freshman this past season for Georgia and recorded 9 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, and 2 sacks. It wasn't an easy decision for him to leave Georgia, but he told ESPN he wanted a bigger opportunity somewhere else, and he thought that opportunity would come with USC. Miami picked up one of the better offensive lineman names in the portal in former Alabama offensive lineman Javion Cohen. In high school, Cohen was a 4-star in-state recruit. As a freshman in 2020, he was named to the All-SEC freshman team after participating in only 5 games for Alabama. Then in 2021, he started at left guard 14 games, missing only 1 game due to an injury. In 2022, Cohen was selected as second-team All-SEC by the conference's coaches. He started 10 games for the Tide and saw time off the bench in 2 other games. Cohen played a total of 550 snaps, recording 17 knockdown blocks, and surrendered just 1.5 sacks for the entire season. He also allowed only 4 pressures and 4 quarterback hits while committing just 3 penalties all season. Ohio State really improved their defense by adding former Ole Miss cornerback Davison Igbinosun. He was a 4-star recruit in the 2022 class who had an impressive debut last year with the Rebels. He started 10 games, made 37 total tackles, and had 5 pass breakups, and was named an honorable mention freshman All-American by College Football News. He was ranked by 24/7 Sports as the 4th best cornerback to enter the portal during the winter window. SMU landed quite the receiver in former TCU wide receiver Jordan Hudson. He was a highly touted recruit coming out of high school. Depending on what outlet you looked at, he was a 4-star and even ranked by some as a 5-star. According to 24/7 Sports, he was TCU's highest rated signee in the class. On3 had him as the number 2 overall wide receiver for the 22 class. Hudson finished last season with 14 games under his belt, but only caught 14 passes for 200 yards with 3 touchdowns. Speaking of SMU, they actually lost their starting quarterback as Tanner Mordecai transferred to Wisconsin. Mordecai started his career as a blue-chip recruit at Oklahoma under Lincoln Riley, but transferred to SMU after losing the starting quarterback job to Spencer Rattler. Once he got his chance to start, he emerged as one of the top quarterbacks in the entire country. In his 2 seasons with the Mustangs, Mordecai threw for over 7,100 yards with 72 passing touchdowns. His best season came in 2021 when he threw 39 passing touchdowns with 3,600 yards. In his 2 seasons with SMU, he had 13 games with at least 3 passing touchdowns, including a game in 2022 where he threw 9 in a single game. Mordecai also had 16 games throwing for at least 300 yards. I'd say he's quite the upgrade to Wisconsin considering some of the quarterbacks they've had over the years. Mississippi State added a solid running back in former Penn State running back Kevon Lee. A former 4-star recruit, Lee carried the ball just 25 times this past season while an injury cost him most of the year. He had hoped to return for the Rose Bowl, but didn't receive a single carry. 2 weeks later, he entered the transfer portal. Lee's best season at Penn State came in 2021, where he rushed for over 500 yards with 2 scores. In 2020, Lee rushed for just under 500 yards with a career-best 4 rushing touchdowns. Washington improved their defense by adding former Oklahoma State cornerback Jabar Muhammad. He started all 12 games this season for Oklahoma State, seeing action at safety as well. He finished the season with 48 tackles, 9 pass breakups, an interception, and a forced fumble. Overall, he played in a total of 31 games during his 3 seasons at Oklahoma State, totaling 71 tackles with 12 pass breakups. We'll wrap up today's list with LSU as they made another big pickup, adding former Oregon State linebacker Omar Spades. A first-team All-Pac-12 selection in 2022, Spades surprised many people when he put his name in the transfer portal. Many thought he was deciding between entering the NFL draft or returning to Oregon State for one final year. He led the Beavers with 83 tackles in 2022. He was a 3-time All-Conference selection. During his time with the Beavers, he racked up over 300 career tackles, ranking number 9 all-time in program history. Spades made 39 career starts, having 25 tackles for loss, 5 sacks, 6 takeaways, with 3 interceptions, and 3 fumble recoveries. Did your school land a really solid player in the portal this offseason that should be included on these lists? Drop a comment down below, and I'll make sure to include them in my next video. Before you leave, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and turn on those notifications if you're new to my channel. I'm posting college football videos every day leading up to the start of the season, so make sure to subscribe so you never miss a video. Also, don't forget to drop a like on this video as well. It helps out with that YouTube algorithm and helps share the video with more college football fans. Plus, it only takes a second to do. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.